discussions today have been really exciting and very energising. We brought together 60 experts from around the world to try and set out a new path for the next 13 years to 2030 about how we're going to prevent, how we're going to diagnose and treat, and how we're going to provide support and information for people in populations and experiencing meningitis. And that's just an amazing opportunity, and it's a real privilege to be here. So Brian Greenwood also came in and told his very personal story of the progress that he's seen since the 1950s, looking into infectious diseases in the UK, and how that story was picked up, and Harold Lambert in the UK also took that forward and basically made the case for serious investigation into infectious diseases. Brian then went on to do some studies in the meningitis belt, looking at carriage and also treating people with meningitis. And that really reminded the room of just how much progress has been made in one man's lifetime, really, and somebody who's very influential and is involved in it still to this day. He was talking about very important issues such as surveillance, making sure we've got good data for the disease, making sure that vaccines are still in development, making sure that vaccines reach people. We've heard from representatives and delegates from Nigeria, from Burkina Faso. We've had great contributions from Guinea, and a reminder again, I suppose, that this meeting is happening at a time when there is an outbreak of meningitis C in Nigeria, and we have had 20 years of fantastic progress against meningitis. But the issue is live, it's happening right now. And so those contributions in the open forum at Wilton Park have come forward in a way that I don't think would have come to the fore in any other forum. So we've set that scene, and we've had some challenging conversation also from Lois Primo-Dunn, who brought her thoughts forward from the International Vaccine Access Centre, to say let's keep making the case for the patient voice in this process too, the role of advocacy and communications in making sure that people are protected from meningitis and aware of their own health, aware of their own symptoms, and making sure that that's embedded as part of whatever solutions we have for meningitis over the next 13 years. And then we've broken out into our separate groups and decided to have 4 groups of conversations around prevention, about diagnosis and treatment, and about support and information. And then about big issues that cut across all those things, about data, about political engagement, about where the funding comes from, about how you turn good big ideas into an action plan that can actually be done. So we've just started that process today. It's day 1. We've set the stall out, and we've had a very structured discussion, say what do we want the world to be like in 2030 when it comes to meningitis. And hopefully over the next 2 days we'll get closer and closer to that answer, and then we'll revisit that vision in 3 days' time and see what we can put down as real priorities that we can put in a plan that we can hold in our hands.